In New York, for instance, President Trump sent a ship. He built the Javits Center into a hospital. A church group built a hospital center in the middle of Central Park. There were more hospital beds available than you could possibly use. And guess what? They were not used. I'm Dr. Joel Singer. I'm a plastic surgeon in New York City, and this is my second opinion. You go to New York right now, and instead of it being a hustle and bustle city, it's practically empty. There are some people walking around, right now, but a few weeks ago, it was like dead. I mean, no one was walking around, nothing. Now, what's happening is, the mayor, in his inimicable wisdom, has decided, you can't open restaurants. Now, the restaurant business in New York is very big. People like to eat out, people like to go to restaurants, and so far they haven't given any guidance about opening restaurants. Well, there are plenty of restaurants that have outdoor seating. When you're outside and the sun is shining, the chances of spreading this disease are practically zero. If this virus gets hit by sunlight, it dies in a second. What's happened is, from the top down, the federal government says, okay, we got to do this, but I'm going to leave it in the hands of the local government, the governors, and then the mayors. So in some states, the governors use common sense. They also get advice from scientists, and they do the right thing. I think Florida did the right thing. I think Georgia has done the right thing. I think, lots of states have done the right thing. But then you get crazy places like Michigan and California and even New York, where this lockdown, they want to keep it going forever. So what happens is when people realize that something doesn't make any sense, they start to protest. In New York, for instance, President Trump sent a ship. He built the Javits Center into a hospital. He sent, I don't know how many more, 6 or 7 more mobile hospitals. A church group built a hospital center in the middle of Central Park. There were more hospital beds available than you could possibly use. And guess what? They were not used. Being a medical doctor and a scientist, when you follow science, you also have to have other opinions, okay? You can't just say, this scientist said such and such, and then ignore that there's another equally qualified scientist who has a differing opinion. The leaders of a country or a state should follow the opinions of a consensus, not just one opinion.